responsibility all over the place, you know? But on another level, stopping the killing, the authority figures on the world stage, and I'm reading from my notes, which are down here, which is why I keep looking away. The authority figures on the world stage, they play war games.
Yes, they do.
They have games consoles. But their games consoles kill people. You know, when we watch TV and we see the one of those TV guided bombs going down into a bunker and a little puff of smoke coming up, that's like a games console.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, it is. And
you don't see the authority figures grieving. You don't see nobody saying, oh, you know, 50 people, 100 people died there. It's almost, they're almost proud of the fact that they can send a bomb down a chimney.
Yeah.
And take out the inhabitants of that house. And they broadcast it on the TV. They broadcast it on the news. And we're watching. The children are watching. So there's a kind of hypocritical essence feeling going on out there then.
Yeah, but aren't the games consoles and those things preparation for those wars? Because when I look back at when I was young at the sweets that we used to have, the little cigarette sweets that we used to love, you know.
Yeah, split sweets.
I didn't, okay. But we had those cigarette sweets, or even the sherbet that we used to, you know, want to eat and everything.
Sister.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Powder.
Right.
What was that all about?
Sherbet fountain.
Yeah.
They're selling them again.
We used to have these coconut tobacco. It was like tobacco in a coconut, and you'd unroll it like as a little roll-up thing.
Before
I remember.
my time.
Yeah. What was that all about? They were steering us towards something.
That's right. It was preparation. And when you look at the Iraq War, Operation Shock and Awe, I think it was, and they had gone in overnight.
Yes.
At night time, and they'd gone into Baghdad and they started bombing. And when you look at it, it looks like one of those Space Invader games.
It's like a game.
And so
console.
We couldn't see the effect that it was having because it was from such a distance. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
In the games consoles, you may see little splurts of blood and stuff, but you can't smell it, you can't feel it. It's not there, so it doesn't make you all messy and dirty, and you don't really understand how bad it is. But if you're in that environment, when some of the soldiers, they said that they came, they were down on the ground forces. When they saw the Iraqi people, some of them turned tail and left. And some of them went AWOL because they said that the Iraqi people, first and foremost, they hadn't done anything. Yeah. And they said that the devastation that they had caused with their bombs was so bad that it just turned people's minds. Some of them went crazy and some of them left as well.
Wow.
So again, you know, with the games consoles, it is virtual reality, but the element which will really sicken us and make us understand exactly what's happening, they've extracted that part out of it so that we don't have to experience it to the full. So that when we experience it to the full in reality, then we won't reject it or we won't be as disgusted by it because our minds have been orientated around it already.
Yeah, and our minds are being orientated on such a level that now when we see car bombs going off on the news in Baghdad, we turn the television over. Or we don't even bat an eyelid, you know. It's all become like virtual reality to us. And that's, I think, is the aim and the purpose of those who are programming the television and the games console and the music industry and all that. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, as parents, we need to do much better if we want to stop the killing. But as government and authority figures and media bosses, TV bosses, they have to do a whole load better if they are really serious about stopping the killing. I think it's time for me to go into my closing comments, sister. Time is really sped by today. Is it virtual reality? Right here on Fudge Show TV? I don't think so. I hope and I pray not so. Okay, closing comment for today. The plastic console is a con of the soul. We con our soul when we are not responsible, yet have full access to our own heart's desire. We con our own soul if we're not responsible, brothers and sisters, but have access to do whatever it is we want to do. We tend to con our soul. You have people who win millions of pounds on lottery, and it opens up a whole world of madness for them because we are not yet responsible people. We do not have knowledge of self or what needs to be done. So we end up damaging ourselves in that regard. You know, our children end up damaging themselves when left to the console all day long, when left on the TV with this media all day long. They end up damaging themselves, and we as parents help them to damage themselves when we do this. Yeah, we have no aim and purpose, and we do not have any mission, yet we want a console. Minister Farrakhan said a man doesn't even need a wife who is a consoler if he has no aim, purpose or mission. Yet this is what we do for our children. Yeah? What we need is counsel, not console. What our children need is counsel,
and guidance.
not console.
Yeah.
And by Allah's grace and mercy, we will get there with his help, with his aim, with his man that he sent here in the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan. By Allah's grace and mercy, we will get there. But I'm going to leave it there right at this point, because there's so much more we can speak on this. Sister, anything you would like to say before we close on this?
Only, brothers and sisters, that it's our responsibility. If we don't want someone to come into our community or into our lives and into our homes and take our children, or if we don't want our children to be taken by the bullet, by a knife, by drugs, by somebody else, we need to learn how to take charge, lean on one another in right, and learn how to take charge for ourselves. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers, sisters. Till next time. Peace. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Are we clear?
I am so hot.
It's so hot.
Listen, I'm going to be a diva and a prima donna, and if I don't have a fan, I'm not coming in here. I'm not working under these conditions anymore.